over 6 decades, Bank of Industry has been here, driving Nigeria's industrial development through financial and business support services to micro enterprises, small and medium enterprises, and large enterprises across Nigeria. Leveraging on strategic partnerships, we provide equipment financing, working capital, and support to enterprises in key sectors of Nigeria's economy, including youth and women-led enterprises. Whatever your business needs, starting up, expansion, diversification, modernization, or rehabilitation, we'll be here, always to support you. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
In the last 8 years, the Federal Fire Service saved 2,322 lives and properties worth 25.74 trillion in fire outbreaks from 2015 till March 2023. According to experts in firefighting, these tragic situations are indeed preventable if the right steps are taken. Our customer that will be featured on today's program is indeed thinking outside the box. He has taken it upon himself to be a champion of firefighting in the country. He is one of the few entrepreneurs making impact to ensure that the loss of lives and properties through fire outbreaks are drastically reduced. Jkpeez Impex Company Limited started out as the sole representative in Nigeria of some of the best and globally recognized firefighting trucks and equipment manufacturers. The company understands that a fire truck is incomplete without firefighting foam. Having recognized the importance of such vital element, the management of the company decided to backward integrate by acquiring the required technology for the production of firefighting foam through its subsidiary, ExFire Limited. The factory is located at Kilometer 7, Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway, Obuaku-Ukwa local government area in Abia State. In case you're wondering what firefighting foam is, it is a foam used for suppressing fire. It plays a vital role in cooling the fire and coating the foam, preventing its contact with oxygen, thus achieving suppression of combustion because oxygen aids combustion. Welcome to another edition of BOI Impact, which is also an exposé on another different sector of the Nigerian economy that the Bank of Industry supports. I am Hadiza Oyewunmi. Jkpeez Impex Company Limited is a service company providing services to the West African oil and gas markets. The chairman and founder of the company, Peter Nnamdi Ojiaka, tells us more about the services the company offers.
Before now, we are into trading, and then we trade on portable fire extinguishers, and we represent Saval and the Chemguard USA. So over the years, from the inquiries, we're able to know the need of our clients. That gave birth to ideas of forming a safety company, which Jkpeez is, to be modest, is one of the first indigenous safety company providing services to most of the oil companies. Big projects of mobile, like also condensate and all that, we are the one that gave them the cover by supplying all the fire portables and all that. So is that gap is what we are trying to bridge, because you find out that most of the oil fire extinguishers in this country are all imported. So how long can we continue? So that made us to enter into this giant stride to source the technology, to know how to do it locally. We have subsidiary companies, and all these companies are designed to provide special services, to meet up the challenges of our customer. We have Jkpeez Impex Company Limited. That company is specialized in industrial procurement, project management. We have Highlock Nigeria, which specializes on local production of fittings, valves, gate valves, stainless steel, cryonic valves. Jkpeez Group is one of the only Nigerian company that have fire truck on lease services. Personally, I like to invest in where others don't invest. I catch the need for myself. I like to do business that is challenging, where other people don't go. So that has been my style, and that has been the key of my success in business.
Jkpeez produces firefighting foam through its subsidiary ExFire Limited. MD of the company, Justice Oyewunmi, has this to say.
ExFire is a baby or child of Jkpeez Group, and Jkpeez Group, we have been doing technology transfer for over 30 years now. So technology transfer is not new to us. What I think is we follow a systematic approach to technology transfer. The first level of our policy is the OEM or the technical partner we're working with. You're not just going to be abroad. No, you have to come in, and whenever we are doing things locally in Nigeria, we always like to localize it, because it's this business, if you put it somewhere else in the UK, in South Korea, or in the US, it would have a different operating system. But we found that to face the Nigerian market, you have to localize it. So what we do is we work with our technical partners and we tell them, hey, look, you're coming to Nigeria, you will train us on how to use your own technology. The technical partner has to come and train all the staff. Anyone who is coming into contact with equipment, procedures, policies, the technical partner will be a part of that. The next thing is about quality management. And for quality management, it's really simple. We try and follow ISO certification. So we, ExFire, are ISO certified. That's the second level, ISO certification. You have your manual, you know how it works, you have a quality management system, everything is good. The third level is what I'd call in-country training. So it's one thing to be trained by the partners, one thing to have your quality management. It's another thing to have like your C-level suite, your operations manager, your quality manager, your production manager. All those guys will have to do in-country training. So for ISO, there are QMS training, quality training companies that do that. So we have our staff trained there. Then things like operations and production, you go to people like MAN, Manufacturer Association of Nigeria. They have courses. We have our people go there. So it's a learning process, and we have our staff go for those kind of trainings. And then sometimes we will, either the OEM will come back to do a refresher, or we send them abroad to do a refresher, because it's one thing to have the technology here, but it's also good to see how it works in other places so that you understand more about it. And then the fourth level is where I would call you could call it corporate social responsibility. Like here we are in Obuako, Abia. As we are working on our C-level staff training, the people below them, what I'd call like shop floor staff, we go around the community and then we onboard them, train them in our QMS system or in our QMS, employ and create employment and education for the community. Those are the 4 levels of staffing that we do. Just as there's ISO for quality, there's also ISO for HSE. And for our workers, what we do is there's a HSE policy everybody has to follow. And then we have typical or standard HSE procedures where you have health insurance, you know the community clinic if there's an emergency. We have a HSE manager on ground as we have a quality manager on ground.
ExFire is a subsidiary of Jkpeez Group. And then they are saddled with responsibility of foam production. and distribution in the country. And the type of foam they are producing is they're producing AFFF, and they're producing AFFR foam. AFFF is a commonly used foam for protection of assets and properties. Like fire brigade, they use the foam. Protection of tank, they use the foam. Protection of, again, raw material for our fire extinguisher that will soon come on board. So we are not going to, the only thing we are going to now look for money is for the assembling equipment. But we have gotten the re-kitting, which is raw material. Then the ExFire foam is used in the chemical industries also. And then the foam we make is to contain A1 fire. Yeah, all types of foam fire extinguishment that foam is required. This is what we make. I can even demonstrate, like we brought this one to show you. This is a AFFF. You see, fire need three things: oxygen to ignite. So what this thing does is to extinguish the oxygen, and then fire will naturally die. You see, it creates foam. So with this foam, the oxygen will not penetrate again. It will suffocate. So this is what we produce.
During our recent visit, the production manager, Obina Ofodom, created ExFire to test the efficacy of the company's product.
In our basin, we are going to put 10 cm of water. Then now empty this fuel inside the water. Then after that, we ignite the fuel to create fire. So now, how do we now extinct the fire? This is our fighting gun. This is the hose. And this is our fire truck. Then, how is this fire truck ejecting pressure, or how is it pushing out our products inside the basin? We have a nitrogen cylinder down there, which is going to be operated at 10 bar. And we all know that average fire truck uses 14 bar to 16 bar. So, but here we are going to use 10 bar to pressurize our content inside this foam canister so that it can eject the compound and start fighting the fire. So my team now are going to eject the solution. Remember, we have 97% of water and 3% of our AFFF compound. So it has been mixed and stirred, and we are trying to put it inside this canister. So we have created fire. Our foam is going on the water itself to cause what we call oxygen extinction. That's to remove oxygen and have what we know as smothering. So as it is going, it is spreading to remove oxygen, to suffocate oxygen. Then in that process, it's completely extinct the fire. AFFF 3% foam. If you can see, the fire is going out, and we have time which we are watching to know the time the fire was put out. If you can see now, the fire has been put out completely, 2 minutes 39 seconds. That is the time taken to put out the fire.
Here we have 3 tanks. We have a 20-ton capacity, so that's 20,000 liters of concentrate. And mind you, that is concentrate because you still need to add water to make your foam. So with the capacity we make, we have to sell to bulk users, people like NNPC, people like oil and gas companies, people like the fire service. So someone like the fire service is going to have their fire trucks, and their fire trucks, they're all over Nigeria, 36 states of Nigeria. So that would be maybe 200 or 250 fire trucks. So that kind of person would buy from us and put in their fire trucks.
For over 6 decades, Bank of Industry has been here, driving Nigeria's industrial development through financial and business support services to micro enterprises, small and medium enterprises, and large enterprises across Nigeria. Leveraging on strategic partnerships, we provide equipment financing, working capital, and support to enterprises in key sectors of Nigeria's economy, including youth and women-led enterprises. Whatever your business needs, starting up, expansion, diversification, modernization, or rehabilitation, we'll be here, always to support you. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
I'm sure you were impressed about the journey as well as the upward trajectory of Jkpeez Impex Company Limited and the role that the Bank of Industry played to ensure that the company's backward integration plans come to fruition. As a development finance institution, the bank will always support businesses that positively impact Nigeria and Nigerians.
Before the Bank of Industry came on board, the staff strength of the company, all together with the subsidiary companies, we were in the neighborhood of about 200 engineers, people that do the tanking, people that do designing, people that do the marketing and all that. So about 200 workers. But with this new innovation now, it will increase our own workers and also create more workers out there, because we are going to have distributors. Distributors, only God knows how many Nigerians they are going to employ. But in our own second phase of this work is going to create about 250 workers already. That's what the second phase, that is when we start assembling the fire extinguishers. Then it will give more work to women, because women always have patience to putting everything in places and taking the labeling, the product and all that.
Regional Manager Southeast at the Bank of Industry, Gabriel Jonathan, also spoke more about the relationship between the two organizations.
They approached us that they wanted to procure equipment for the production of the firefighting foam. We thought at the time that it was an innovative idea. So when the proposal came to us, we reviewed it and thought it was quite interesting. We like very innovative ideas, so we thought, okay, let's take it up and see how it goes. So that's what made us support the company. And in May last year, equipment arrived fully installed, and now they're in operation. So after BOI came in, post BOI, so what happens now is they don't need to import fire extinguishers like they used to. So since they make the foam here, they just produce the foam and fill up. So what it has done is it has enabled them to employ a lot of hands into that subsidiary of their business, because that was non-existent. Now they have production managers, they have lab scientists. They've had to employ people directly. In the long run, there's also going to be a lot of indirect employment, because what the company is planning to do is to start producing this foam and filling up extinguishers that can be used in homes, in vehicles, in cars, in trucks.
next 5 to 6 years, we are going to see Jkpeez as a safety giant. We are going to start to do instrumentation using our phone, whereby we are going to do our own phone canisters, phone chambers, and then we are going to now bring actuators and all that to be able to give it brain, to be able to mostly tank protection, whereby you don't see tank fire, you see the tank is gone. So our plan now is to come up with an engineering whereby we are going to use our phone. And then we are going to install a system, which we are working on the prototype now, whereby it will be like a fire wash. So if there is any fire on the tank roof, automatically it will activate the mechanism that will dump the foam on top and extinguish fire. This is where we are going. And again, we want to design a special fire extinguisher we will install on people's homes, and then they pay on lease.
I hope today's edition of the program has further reinforced the view that if we all play our part and ensure that through in-country production, we're able to substantially meet our basic needs, we shall create jobs for our people, conserve a lot of foreign exchange, and set the country on the path of self-sufficiency. The Bank of Industry will always support businesses with developmental impact without compromising its standards. Our highly professional staff are always ready to help you implement your potentially bankable business plans. Our customer care lines are available for you to call if you're unable to visit the bank. Do not give up on your business dreams. Please speak with us at the earliest convenience. I am Hadiza Oyewunmi. Do have yourself an enterprising week. Bye for now.